Brittany, you feeling anything there?
I'm really picky. I need to be really bold.
Be bold, do it.
You are so attractive.
Yo, hands up! Whoa! He's the best looking guy I've ever seen.
Our next single man. Oh, welcome in. I'll have you hold that. And what's your name?
Tommy.
Tommy. I can have your name and why you ended up popping your balloon.
My name is Rizoma. The reason why I popped your balloon is because I just don't like how you dress as a 40-year-old man. You're not my little brother. I don't want you to dress like my little brother. It's a little weird to me. But you look good though. You know, I like the, little Texas thing you got on your hand. Are you from Texas or?
No, I'm a tourist.
Oh, good. Yeah, I don't like Taurus either. So.
I don't dress like this all the time, so I do have suits and stuff,
Okay.
But whatever.
I'm just kidding. All right, next.
Okay, well, sir, welcome in.
How y'all doing?
Oh, okay. What's your name?
My name is Ja.
Ja. What's your type of woman? What do you look for?
Honestly, it's mainly about the personality, right? That's what you can't replace.
So far, I know you're a personality guy, but whose balloon are you going to pop?
Just based off looks, I can't ask no other questions. How many?
Let's start with one.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So why did you keep your balloon unpopped for Ja?
Well, personally, I really like how he dresses. I don't like that the pants are a little see-through, but you have the idea, which I love. But other than that, I think you did good. So I didn't see a reason to pop you. I did have some personal questions, but you popped my balloon, so I'm cool.
You humbled her
Isaac.
so quick.
Isaac, what do you rate me out of 10? I'm happily married. So I would not rate you. So.
Okay, so if you had to rate me if you didn't have a wife, come on.
I'd be a 1. It's a little desperate, that's why. So. The most important person in my life is my wife. So she's number 1.
Thank you.
That woman in the first clip is arrogant and entitled. These women are delusional. They are just molded wrong. No true man in the right state of mind wants to deal with a guaranteed failing relationship with a woman who thinks they are entitled to God's gifts. Don't touch them. Some women believe because they are the childbearer and merely a woman they deserve to be treated like treasure. Some women believe and tell other women that they should treat men like crap for whatever reason. Apparently they like it. For example, you know the types who go around saying all men are the same. You see it in empowering feminine movies where they say stuff like, men have to be told what to do because they aren't able to know what women want. You deserve as much as you bring to the table. It's give and take. Neither gender should be undermined by the other. If only we could spend a day in each other's shoes. Deluded women who believe they are the superior gender won't get far with this ridiculous mentality. Society has created extremely entitled females. So much so that in countries with high education, men are not getting married and having children. The population in these countries is now dropping. Think about it yourself. If you are a man and you get married, over 52% of marriages fail. Now ask yourself this question. In divorce, who gets custody of the children? Who gets a higher share of the assets? Whose side is the family court on? You may think even 60% on one side and 40% on the other side is okay. But that means one side gets 50% more, and that is seen as a good deal. The man ends up leaving his house, even if he bought it before he met his wife, and living in some flea bag place or out of the boot of his car. That does not look like a good investment to a man for his future if he is an educated man. Men understand that just because they sleep with a chick way out of their league does not mean they are in her league. A large percentage of women get confused and think that just because a really attractive guy will have sex with them, that is to say, use their body to masturbate, that's her league now, and that's who she's properly supposed to date. It's kind of tragic for them. They just get confused. Women voted for equality because they thought that meant getting a better life. No more daddy with a shotgun and popping out babies. The thing is, what was planned for them wasn't a better life, but rather a corporate excuse to stop paying family benefits and make it normalized to make women work grueling minimum wage jobs with little job benefits. This also meant men were now competing with women in the job force, resulting in more societal dropouts and drug use. Dating app studies show that men are okay with pretty much any average good-looking female, but women do not show the same results. They all go for the very top males, who are often lying about who they really are, and there are simply not enough of these men to go around. I believe that by forcing women into the workforce, Most average women quite literally have more than what a man could provide for them, and yet deep down they still expect a man to be providing for them, perhaps on a socio-biological level. The result is women desiring a man who does not exist in the quantity needed to fill that need, partially because women are holding those very jobs they want men to be holding. What's that old saying about cake? You can't eat it and still have it. Don't settle and know your worth have taken on a new meaning. The waitress at the local diner should not settle for a drunken loser who can't keep a job, but holding out for the doctor who looks like a movie star is a bit unrealistic. Now what about the drunk, loser women? Even they believe they deserve better. Add in the feminist twist and no man will ever be worthy. Young and cock-hungry, she fucks a loser, gets pregnant several times, divorces the guy, and lifts herself above all of that by getting a decent job and being responsible. Ignoring her colossal fuck-up straight out of puberty, she only sees the guy's mistakes. She rose above the biggest loser in high school, the one she couldn't wait to fuck. He gets drunk, doesn't work, and never excels past his 10th grade education, but she did what every other man did, got a job, and paid the bills. Now that she has climbed a single rung on the ladder, she refuses to date anyone who hasn't made it to the top. You see, she is the victim, and was oppressed when she followed him under the bleachers, while any mistake you ever made is not her problem. Now study hard, excel at work, and make sure to stay in shape while you climb that ladder, as you will need all that to land her and support her 3 kids. My view is that most women don't think that they truly will ever bag a top 2 to 3% man. But almost every one of them, who isn't very unattractive deep down, believes they're at least special enough to nab a guy who is at least above average. The ego would spiral into an existential crisis if most average women had to admit to themselves that they weren't at least more special than 60% of other women. Every girl thinks they're a bit special. It's ingrained from birth. But this translates into every metric of their preferences. Most men are 5'10", but I'm at least special enough to be with a guy a little bit above average. Yeah, most men are not good looking, but I am a little bit special, if only slightly. So yeah, it's not unreasonable for me to be with a kinda handsome guy. It's not unreasonable for me to be with a kinda ripped guy. A guy who earns more than most, not rich, but a bit more than most. After all, I'm not a unique snowflake, but deep down I believe I'm a tiny bit special. And all of this adds up to expecting a man who is above average height, kinda handsome, kinda ripped, has a good job, and has a big dick. Basically a top 5%er, but in their mind, it's not unreasonable. Deep down she feels she is slightly above average. She has to be, and so expecting a little bit better than most in her men isn't unreasonable. One thing I'm noticing is that a lot of the women who are more delusional with their dating standards are also the ones with not much to offer. Meanwhile, the ones with realistic standards actually have things going on. For example, it'll be a girl who believes she deserves a guy around her age, 25 to 35, over 6 feet tall, handsome, makes 100k a year, owns a nice house and luxury car, spoils her, and is completely faithful. Meanwhile, she works at Walmart, is 15k in debt, and has a kid. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that woman. That's just an average person, but we really have to think about this logically. The man described exists, but is a relatively small percentage of the population. That number decreases when you consider how many of them are actually single, since most likely many of these men are older and are married to the women who were with them when they didn't have any of this. They also often only think about it from the perception of what they want, and not what this man would want. Basically, like, I deserve this man simply because I'm me. So my question is, where are these women planning to find these men? What are you doing, or what do you have that would attract and keep them? That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers!